Hello everyone and welcome to this next session of PragatiE Vichaar Break the Bias. I'm extremely excited to have with us Ms. Gvantsa. Ms. Gvantsa was born in 1986 in Tbilisi. She is the current Deputy Chairperson of the Georgian Publishers and Booksellers Association. She has an impressive leadership record in the publishing world. She has been the editor and international relations manager at Intellecti Publishing, one of the biggest publishing houses in Georgia since 2010. She is a member of the executive committee at the International Publishers Association and was a 2015 Frankfurt Book Fair Fellow. She has published children's literature, poetry, and nonfiction, and is the translator of Saul Bellow and John Lennon from English into Georgian, and Anna Politkovskaya's Putin's Russia from Russian into Georgian. Her translation of John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men was shortlisted for the 2016 Saba Literary Prize for Translation. She is also the editor with Becca Parkinson of an anthology of Georgian short stories in English translation, The Book of Tbilisi. She is one of the managers of Tbilisi's designation as UNESCO World Book Capital 2021. And she was one of the managers with Georgia being the guest of honor at the Frankfurt Book Fair in 2018. Welcome so much, Gvantsa.
Thank you for introduction. Happy to join you, of course.
Thank you. So currently you are the Deputy Chair of the Georgian Publishers and Booksellers Association. Can you talk about, more details of the role that women play and what is the kind of gender-related equality or gender-related stuff that's going on in Georgia at this point of time?
Well, of course, with great pleasure. First of all, it would be a very ambitious statement from my side if I answer now that I have brought a change for women in our association. But well, since 2013, I'm serving in the Georgian Publishers and Booksellers Association in different positions, and it has been challenging, sometimes very stressful, very emotional, but really beautiful years. Of course, sometimes we fail. But this gives us the strength and huge motivation to wake up next morning in a very optimistic mood and start fighting for success even harder than before. I'm not sure if I managed to bring any change for our women, but almost every day on any occasion, I'm trying to show them courage, devotion to our work, and also I'm trying to be like brave to make others be brave too, and I'm trying not to fear to make others not to fear too.
Great. So you are also a member of the publisher community. Can you talk about the work that publisher does and your participation in it?
Yes, well, I've been a member of the publishers since the very beginning. When almost 3 years ago, this community was created in London during the London Book Fair in 2019. I still remember that fantastic evening, which I spent with absolutely amazing women publishers from all around the world who appeared to be full of enthusiasm, willingness to help and support each other. Even on that very first evening together, while sitting around the dinner tables in small groups, we started exchanging our stories, experiences, thoughts, like doubts, questions, ideas, I don't know, everything. We started talking about development and offered our support to each other. On that very first day, I truly realized that it was the start of an amazing movement which was going to work in real life. So this is exactly how women power works.
Fantastic. And I've been watching Publisher for a little while as well, and it's been just fabulous seeing the collaboration and seeing the participation, and more importantly, the enthusiasm of women from across the globe in participating. I mean, when we started organizing this event, the kind of passion or the kind of enthusiasm that we saw from the publisher community was actually, extremely inspiring, and it kind of made us ensure that we do more. So that's been...
I'm happy to hear this comment from your side.
So, what type of plans do you have as an active member of the IPA Executive Committee for the year 2022, especially for women?
I think that the IPA Executive Committee, especially during the last few years, has shown its clear position and opinion about the huge importance of women empowerment in publishing by electing two brilliant women publishers on a senior positions. Bodur Al-Kasimi, you all know her as IPA president, and also you all know Karina Panza as a vice president.
Right.
Well, we think that it's time to see more and more hardworking, devoted, high professional women publishers in leadership positions. And of course, I'm going also to do my best to help keep this course IPA has chosen, because still a lot is to be done. It's extremely important that IPA as a professional union becomes the example for its members from all around the world. And I'm pretty sure that if we go on working on it with the same self-confidence as we are doing it now, thanks to our new leadership, our attempt will have its very logical outcome in different industries as well. I really wish that it happened, and I believe that it is, of course, possible.
Great. I want to also talk to you about the Tbilisi International Book Fair. You've been the inspiring force and have been organizing it since 2013. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yes, this is one of my favorite projects, and Tbilisi International Book Fair is one of the most important projects of the Georgian Publishers and Booksellers Association. And this year, we're planning to organize it 24th time. So it has already become a huge tradition and one of the biggest cultural events in Georgia. So being the organizer of this wonderful event, together with my fantastic colleagues, is a great honor and great pleasure at the same time. Everyone who is involved in the working process feels herself lucky for being a part of it. And I mentioned herself in reason because on the book fair team we have only women. And especially before the pandemic, we of course used to visit several international book fairs per year, learned a lot from our foreign colleagues, and then we tried our best to use this new knowledge to develop our book fair and make it more and more attractive, not only for locals, but for international audience as well, of course. And now Tbilisi International Book Fair, except of traditional book market and literary events at the main stage, hosts more and more foreign publishers and authors, plus one focus country with very special program each year, offers its own publishing conference, a new pavilion designed specially for children's books, and very special unique project, actors and actresses for literature.
Fantastic. How did you come to start this book fair?
So it was started at the end of 90s. It was very shortly after like Soviet Union collapse, and when Georgia gained back its independence, and the first independent publishing houses and private publishing houses were founded in Georgia, because before that we had state publishing houses only when we were a part of the Soviet Union. And then shortly we created the Publishers Association, because it was very important for our publishers to have some kind of union who will work for publishers, who will support publishers at the governmental level, of course, which will be working on the book promotion. And then also very, very shortly after the Publishers Association was created, Publishers Association created the Tbilisi International Book Fair. It happened in 1998. And since then, we celebrate this book fair every year. So it was in the beginning, of course, it was very small. It was held in a small hall because it was enough. We didn't have so many publishing houses in the beginning, but years passed and this sector developed, the industry developed. We had new publishers, more and more publishers, and the book fair, of course, also became bigger. And now we organize the book fair in several pavilions, and so it is becoming bigger and bigger, and it's attracting thousands of readers who are coming every year to visit our book fair, and it's like huge celebration and one of the most important literary events in Georgia.
Great. So the theme of this year's International Women's Day is Break the Bias. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have done in your life to break the bias, and what is it that you intend to continue doing as we head into the future years?
Well, I think I will speak about 2013. When at the age of 27, I became the first deputy chair of our association who was not the publisher, but the employee of the publishing house. This happened because my boss at Intellecti Publishing, who is a man, by the way, trusted me, and he sent me to the local PA as his representative to work, to learn, to fight. And I tried to do 3 of them. And in 2 years, I became the chairperson of the association with the help, of course, with the help of unbelievable trust and support from my colleagues. But in the beginning, when I started as a deputy chair, my age and the occupation was really an issue. And it often happened that I was expected to change my mind or decision to respect someone's age advantage. But if you want to achieve success and gain the respect and trust, if you really care about the future development and progress of your industry, sometimes you have to make really unpopular decisions, but it's a part of any work and we need to get used to doing it.
Perfect. Now, it is said that in the Georgian publishing industry, women are dominating. You yourself agreed to that. Can you tell us a little bit about, how did you achieve this, and what should other countries, other publishing organization, other trade bodies, what should they learn from the Georgian example?
It's quite hard to give this advice, but probably women and men both, they should try and work on it a little bit more. And it's really possible because we have in our society a lot of developed people as well who understand things perfectly and who we can involve in the process to empower the woman. As for Georgia, I remember that once I was interviewed about this topic already, and I compared the Georgian book industry to the paradise of gender equality. And I'm proud to tell you that after several years from that interview, we still managed to keep the same course. And if we look at the list of our member organizations, the percentage of men and women directors is 50-50 again. And on the association board, we have now 6 women and 1 man member only. And in the association staff, we have only women. Nearly the same is the statistics in other literary organizations operating in Georgia, nearly the same. So according to the statistics, we can easily say that Georgian women are not only dominating, but maybe even ruling the Georgian book industry. It looks like that. So I, of course, wish to all other industries to have better statistics in terms of gender equality. And I think that women should work on it, and they should also involve men who have the right views about it. Some like popular personalities as well, to work on it, to promote this topic in their countries. And a lot should be done, of course, and it's difficult, it's different according the different countries. It does not work the same way in all countries because it depends on culture and a lot of things. But it is possible. I mean, it's really possible, and it really needs braveness, and it needs hard work, of course.
Sure. So Publisher will be completing its 3 years of existence in March this year. How do you think it has done to break the bias in the publishing industry, and also to provide viable solutions to the many gender inequalities that have long characterized world publishing and the other creative industries?
Publisher is a unique movement which makes women's voices to be heard. It gives women the stage to be seen and listened to, not only by men, but by women also. Because today, a lot of women in our world need to hear the true stories, true examples, experiences told by women about how they manage, firstly, to survive, and then to become the leaders in our unequal society. They need the face that breaks the bias is truly possible, and that if women manage to unite their forces, and if more and more men in this universe start respecting equality, important change can be achieved. They need to believe that the real changes and real change starts from each of us. And this is how I see the mission of Publisher.
Sure. So there is a lot of work that is happening these days in the area of women empowerment. And there is every brand, every organization, every country, and every area in a lot of ways is starting to become more sensitive to it. And sometimes we see stuff that we like, and sometimes we see stuff that we think maybe over the top. I actually wanted to get your point of view. So you must have seen that recently M&M did a rebranding for themselves, where they took one of the M&Ms and they tried to bring more inclusivity into M&M. One was to bring in more women, and the other, what I found very interesting, was actually they put one of the M&Ms and they kind of gave it a face that said it has an anxious look, which means that M&M is suffering from mental health, and it is to bring visibility towards mental health. So what do you think about these kind of initiatives where we are including, or we are trying to drive inclusivity in every sphere, in everything that we do?
So, of course, a lot of work is done already, and a lot of people are involved in this process, which is really important. On the example of my country also, I really see that it has results. So it's not done in vain. I see the development, I see the progress. I see that this helped our women to become stronger. So yes, maybe we don't see these results today very quickly, but tomorrow we will see that this work influenced someone somewhere living maybe in some small village, and maybe it's changed the life of one person, but it's also very important. Maybe this work made some men to change their views, and it's very important. And I don't think that it should be the work just some organizations. It's a work of all of us, especially if I think that this work also should be by all successful women in the world, because if these women have this privilege that they have overcome some difficulties and now they are successful, they have the responsibility to think about others. They have the responsibility to work and to help the women who have not yet overcome these troubles, because these women are privileged and they should not forget about others who are not yet. So privilege, I mean, it's normal situation, of course, but privilege if we compare to those women who are not in the same situation, of course, I mean this. So if each of us feel that this responsibility that we have to change something around us in our society, and we maybe save one woman, and maybe we work to change the views of one man, this is also very important work. We should remember about this. And if we do all this together, if we unite our forces, I think that we will have progress, and we will have all of us together. We can have the success in this field.
Sure. That's a wonderful thought. Now, today, I mean, of course, it's the International Women's Day. What thought would you like to leave for women, coming after you, or women, who would want to follow the same footsteps or follow the same path that you have done in your life? What thought would you want to leave for them?
Well, I just can say that you should be brave, and you should not fear, but you should know that it's a lot of work. It's we choose our life, and we choose what kind of life we want to live. And if we choose the freedom, if we choose the independence, then we should know that we need to work and to fight for it every day. In case of men, it's not only in case of women, I mean that in case of men, it's the same, because this universe is like this, works like this, that if the person and the people want to be free and independent, they should know that it's not easy. It's very difficult way, but it's on us. We should choose what kind of persons we want to be. And also a lot of depends on us. Of course, on the society as well in which we live, because in some cases it's really hard because of society. It's really hard to survive and to make your voice to be heard. I understand these differences as well, of course, but we should know that in any society it's possible if we work hard, because we need to work, we need to learn. Education is the most important. Education is the direct way which gives us the freedom and independence. So we should fight for education as well in our societies. So for me, it was beautiful, but it was very hard way, which I passed through. It was tiring. It was not sleeping many nights because of my work, but it's not done differently. So for success, we have to fight.
Sure. Amazing. And I guess for coming from you, looking at the former Soviet, you lived in a different world. I mean, you grew up when Soviet Union was starting to become, break down, and Georgia became an independent country. You started your work at a very young age. So you did not just have to fight the women bias. You had to fight the age bias, and you had to fight, multiple other aspects. And kudos to you for having done as well. And, for your status and for what you have accomplished today.
Yes, we had to fight against the ideology which Soviet Union has left in our society and in all the post-Soviet countries, societies. And it's really hard because it's in the mind of people. And for 70 years, Soviet Union was putting this ideology in people's minds, because this is how they were ruling this world and this union. So now still, there is something, it is in our families, it is still in the society. So every day we have to fight against it. And also we are fighting to make ourselves, all of us, better.
Sure. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Gvantsa, for this wonderful interaction. I'm sure the audience would, love to hear more from you. But we are running out of time. Thank you so much for this interaction. Thank you so much for coming here. And thank you so much for the contribution that you have been doing with the Georgian publishers, with the publisher community, as well as with IPA.
Thank you so much for this possibility. It was really inspiring interview. It was really inspiring to talk to you. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about this very important topics. And I hope that it was interesting for our audience. And I hope that we gave a little, very tiny maybe, but hope to people and women listening to us. And I wish all of them success in their life.
Thank you so much. And your story is a story of inspiration. So I'm sure, people, the audience hearing will get a lot of value out of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.